to my channel. I'm Sherry and this is Gardening in the North. And today I want to share with you all of the trellising systems that I use in my garden. I know it's a little early in the season to be planting out in your garden, but this is the perfect opportunity to start planning different trellis systems that you want in your garden. And I thought by sharing what I'm using in mine, it might springboard you into an idea for yours. A lot of people have fences in their backyards. And here in my municipality, one of the bylaws that we have to have is if you have a pool, you have to have a fence around it. In fact, our pool company wouldn't even fill our pool until we put the fence in. So I tried to use this fence last summer to its fullest, and I grew tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and sugar snap peas all along 250 feet of this fence. And at the end of the season, I just took down the remains of those plants, and we're starting a new season now. So it's nice and clean and ready to go. So for those of you that have a chain link fence in your backyard, this is the perfect trellising system. It's already there. There's nothing to do. You have it already. For those of you that have a wood fence, which a lot of people do, you can use that as well. You can put little hooks along the fence and you can use string, twine, whatever it is that you have to direct those vining plants all along your fence. You might as well use what you have. So let's take a look in the hill garden. There are a few other trellising systems that I use in my garden, one of which I purchased everything at the dollar store. This trellis system here is for my tomatoes. And so you'll notice that I have started it about 18 inches off the ground. And that's because I really heavily prune my tomatoes and I want them to have that height to grow. These racks here I got at my local Home Depot in the hardware section or the construction section. And these racks are actually hardware mesh that are used when you're doing concrete. And so they are 4 feet by 7 feet and they run about $13. So what I've done is we have connected two of them together. My husband had some extra 2x4s that he split in half for me. Him and my son pounded them into the ground and we zip tied these to the 2x4s or the 2x2s. And it worked awesomely last year. I was able to tie each tomato plant to these racks as they grew. And again, this whole thing here cost me about $26. So this trellising system here was my very first one. When we first moved to this property, my husband and son built this one for me so that I could grow my cucumbers on it. So basically what they've done is they pounded in 3 T-posts into the ground. They went into our forest area, grabbed some of these, some of this dead wood and attached it onto the T-post for me. And what I've done is I've taken some twine and I've just gone between the wood just to give it that extra trellising ability for the plants to grow. And I've used this now for 3 summers and the cucumbers love it. Again, this only cost me the cost of the T-posts. So this area here, or this trellising system here, is my black bean area. And so last year I tried to get black bean seeds and they were sold out everywhere. As you all know, there was a shortage on seeds everywhere. So I went to my local grocery store and I went down the bean aisle and I grabbed a huge bag of dried black beans for I think $2.79, brought them home and thought, I'll try to germinate them, and it worked. So I was able to plant roughly 30 plants here. Now I did a bit of research and black beans normally are bush varieties, but sometimes they'll send out a vine. So I built this trellis system in the hopes that some of them would do that and that I would get some really nice vining flowers and leaves on this trellis system. That didn't happen. They were all bush variety, no vines. So this year I have purchased a vining variety from Baker Creek, and I'm going to be using these bamboo stakes that I bought at the dollar store 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, I paid, I think, $1.25 per bamboo. They're 6 feet tall. And I used them for 2 years to stake my tomatoes in my raised bed garden. And this is going to be the 4th year. So I bought these at the dollar store for $1.25, and I'm getting 4 years at least out of them. It's a great deal. This arch trellis system is the newest trellising system that we've added to our garden space this year. And what we did is we bought 16-foot cattle panels from TSC, and we actually mounted them into these boxes so that they would provide us extra vertical trellising. So now I can grow vining things on these and have them go from box to box. So I hope some of the ideas that I've shown you today help you to build up your garden and add some trellises to it. Anytime you can vertical garden means that you're saving on the footprint of your garden and you're adding space without actually adding space. And you know, just because I didn't show you other ideas doesn't mean that there aren't other things out there. If you have an old soccer net with the poles and everything, you can use that as well. If you have an old gate, use that. There are so many ideas that use what you have. Thanks for spending time with me. Tell me when.
Okay, go.
Oh God, I hope it doesn't bend. Okay.
Okay, lift your legs.